the contract. What is contract? What is the meaning of contract also? The Civil Code defines a contract as a meeting of the minds between two persons whereby one binds himself with respect to the others to give something or to render some service. In other terms, the contract is a legal agreement usually between two companies or the employer and employees, which involve doing work for a stated sum of money. Elements of contract. First is the consent. Consent signifies the meeting of the offer and the acceptance upon the things and the costs which are to constitute the contracts. It comprises the following elements. First is the concurrence of the offer and the acceptance. Second is the contracting parties must possess the necessary legal capacity. Third, consent must be intelligent, free, spontaneous, and real. It is the meeting of the minds of the contracting parties. There should be as acceptance and an offer to manifest consent. The offer must be certain and whether the acceptance is expressed or implied. It must be absolute. The offer may fix details of the offer including the date, time, place, and mode of acceptance, which all must be complied with. It must be noted that the following are incapacitated to give consent. First is the minor, second is the insane or the demented, deaf youths who do not know how to write, married women or age in case specified by law. Fifth, civil interdicted person. Sixth, incompetence under guardianship. Then the vices of consent. First is the violence, second is the intimidations, third is the mistake, fourth is the fraud, and then fifth is the undue influence. First is the violence. Violence to be considered as a vice that could vitiate consent. It must be serious or irresistible. The contract would have been a void contract if the consent given by one of the parties was obtained only because of the use of violence, meaning that there is a physical pain. Then the mistakes. Mistakes may be attributed to the nature of human to commit error whether in fact of the law. Next is the fraud. The presence of fraud is evident if there are insidious words or if there is a scheme or machinations which induce the other parties to enter into a contract. Then lastly is the undue influence. It's the direct influence that overpowers the minds of the parties to decide based on the ideas and principles of the others. Second elements of contract is the object certain. The object certain must have the following requisites. First, object should be within the commerce of me. Second, it should be real or possible. It should exist in the moment of the celebrations of contract, or at least it can exist subsequently or in the future. Third, object should be licit or not be contrary to law, morals, good customs, public order, or public policy. Fourth, it should be determinate or at least possible of determinations as to its kinds. Third elements of contract is the cause. It is why of the contract or the essential reason why moves the contracting parties to enter into the contract. It must have the following requisites. First, should be in existence. Second, should be licit or lawful. Third, should be true. Classifications of contracts according to cause. Onerous contracts, parties are reciprocally obligated. Remunerative contract, to give remunerations to the service previously rendered or given by the other party. Gratuitous, other parties given something out of his or her generosity or liberality.